Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful day. I mean, this is typical Christmas weather, I promise you, in Northwest Oklahoma. It's like this all the time. If you're just passing through, we never have a bad day. We never have any wind. It never gets cold here. It's just wonderful like it is today. So put your roots down. We got a place for you to live. It's Alva. It's a wonderful place to live, Northwest Oklahoma. If you don't want to be in the confines of the big city of Alva, we'll find you a place outside. Ben Buckland with the Rose and Ben Show. As you can see, Rosie gets top billing, and there's a reason for that. This is the most mature morning show in the free world. Most morning shows are, like 6 to 10 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Well, Rose and myself, we really don't want to hit it quite that hard. So, and we don't want to work Fridays. Tuesday's kind of out because Rose has her hair appointment on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Wednesdays are sideways anyway. So our show, the most mature morning show in America, is at 11 a.m. every Thursday. 168 years of combined fall down 7 times, get up 8, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. It's Rose and Ben, Rosie, Thorns, and all. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. What a great day to be alive in Alva, Oklahoma. It's going to be 70 degrees today.
Isn't that amazing?
It is, and I'm going to ride my bicycle.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't already done it.
I did yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. It was all right. I had my big coat on, though.
Somebody asked me, who was it? I don't know. Somebody asked me, Rose that's on your show, and I said, no, you're saying that wrong. It's Rose's show.
Don't ever forget that.
Don't ever forget that. And I'm kind of the straight man. I toss her the high, soft ones that she can hit out of the park, and she then hits it out of the park. This is a show, really and truly, that I thought would last, maybe 3 weeks.
Oh,
We
wow.
celebrated our 1 year at Holders last time.
Yes, we did, and I don't know where the year has gone.
What about 91 years? Do you
Yeah.
have any idea where any of those have gone?
No, I don't, and I'm still up moving and raising cane and
Got a new car, got a new bicycle. What else could you want?
That's right.
Exactly.
It's good. It's all good.
So I said, Rosie, you have your own show. Why don't we advertise and get you a boyfriend on the show?
Yeah, but you told how old I was.
Yeah, but so we've had 3 that
we had applications?
Yeah, we've had applications, verbal. We've had 3 inquiries, and I told all 3 of them the first thing we got to have is a Dun and Bradstreet on you. And they
Boy,
were out.
you're my kind of guy.
They were out. Probably oil field trash, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know.
You keep checking for me though.
We have guests. We always have very important
We do.
people.
I really highly admire these two people.
True.
Yes.
And well, Rosie, you set it up because you've known Adam and his beautiful wife for a long, long time. So bring them on the show here.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, working without a net, here's Rosie.
All right. We have 2 great people here that are a wonderful service to Alva, Oklahoma. They are Adam and Dana Jordan, and they, of course, are the owners and operators of the nursing homes. And they're here to talk a little bit about the nursing home today. And I've got to say, and this is all spontaneous. This isn't. I went to the nursing home yesterday, and when I went in, they had to check my temperature and do a few things. And it just struck me as what a bright, cheery place that was. It had such a nice atmosphere, and little did I know they were going to be here today, and I want to compliment them on that. And we're going to start out. Are you here to tell us about? Are we supposed to ask you questions?
Rosie, it's your show.
I can do what I
You
want.
can do anything you want.
Well, I'm going to start off then and have whoever's the boss. Boy, this is going
That'll
to
be
be.
Dana. We're starting with Dana, no doubt about it.
Tell us a little bit about what's happening at the nursing homes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm married to Santa Claus. Y'all might not know that, but he lives for Christmas, and he's got this big old white beard going on, and a Santa hat on right now because we're having Hat Day, and he's been having his toy shop built in his office for a while. Every day he looks on his phone, he sees all the stuff coming in that he's gotten for the staff and residents for Christmas. And his whole toy shop is getting really full of all sorts of stuff. And we're going to have a big party on the 17th for the staff and on Christmas Day for the residents in the Beatles New Beginnings building. And then, when is it, the 23rd or something like that? I can't remember when the Beatles main building has Christmas. But he's so excited. We're in the car all day long. He'll be on his phone and he'll say, oh, guess what came in today? So I just wanted to explain, first of all, that Santa's in the house. And he's going to be at the Moose on Saturday for kids to come because this new beard thing, I told him next year start in September and it'll be kind of down halfway of his chest. But I'll let Adam tell you. But I am the real boss, just so everybody knows. So I like to throw that around. But no, literally, Adam Jordan is the best. I say what you see in public is what I see at home. He's the kindest, sweetest, and smartest. He worked late last night. He works till like 2 a.m. and every day doing books and stuff. But his joy is people. His joy is the residents. And I'll let him tell the story of how Beatles came about and his role.
I want to say something. I have been to three of your Christmas parties out there, and they're fantastic. And you have many presents. Each resident gets a present, and they're wonderful, wonderful parties. So now I'll pass this back to Adam.
So on our Christmas parties, the residents actually get at least 2 presents. One from the staff. The staff draws names or they pick names and gets them a present, and then the nursing home gets one too. It's really cool. Just the atmosphere of Christmas and the party. We usually have it in the north dining room, and I've seen it so packed that you could not walk through. It's really fun and festive. My great grandmother started this in her house around 1917. She was actually wanting to have either an orphanage or a house for unwed mothers. That was back during the first pandemic, and there was a lot of orphans put from the far east and the big cities put on trains because their parents had died during the pandemic, and they were coming out here, and that was one of her thoughts.
You mean she was getting them off the orphan train?
She didn't. Before she could do that, somebody got sick. My great uncle got sick, and she took him in. But that was her plan. She was going to do that, but God pushed her in this direction. She realized that when the house was full of people that they were taking care of, and the family, and there was at least 5 or 6 kids was living in the garage. So back then, from the land run, there was 4 houses on a section. They'd go buy a house and move it in, and when the prisoner of war camp closed, they bought a couple houses. They're still there. There's a little guard shack and it was 2 rooms, and they had residents in those 2 rooms, and then a house in front of where we live. They added on the kitchen and the bathroom and another room, and that was for family. There was probably 14 houses total that they had bought and moved in, and through the years, it's just gone from my great grandmother and my great grandfather to their siblings, and then went to my mom's side, except a lot of them died before my grandmother did, so it went on to myself and Dana, and now we're in the 4th, and my son is now a part owner, so we're in the 4th and 5th generations of the nursing home God has always blessed us, and when we didn't know how we were going to make payroll, it just happened. So He's always
Hey, I'm
kept us
familiar
there.
with that concept. That one I get. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just sometimes you don't know where the money is,
Uh-uh.
and then all of a sudden it jumps in there, and you got it. So he's just kept us going.
Let me interrupt Rosie because
Yes.
this is not directly. Well, let me first say that on Rose and Ben this morning, we're talking with the Jordans, owners and operators of the two nursing homes here in Alba. You were talking about how the thing formed up, and you were talking, Adam, about the land run, and you said there was 4 houses on each section. Was a part of the land run? I didn't know that.
Well, to keep that part of the deal with the land run is you had to do an improvement, and of course the easiest improvement was building a house. So from that time, that core, then they were able to pull some of those houses.
But like, okay, my in-laws settled at Fair Valley, which is on the Freedom Road. You know, between as you're going off of Highway 14 and then headed west to Freedom. And so you homesteaded on the land run a 160, didn't you?
Correct.
Okay. So on that 160, you would build one house
Well, that or at least, some people
or
there
more.
might, more.
I see.
But most people would build a house because that's where they were living.
Right. Okay. Thank you for letting me interrupt you. So when the little motto thing says serving you for more than 100 years, it really is.
Yes, it is. We estimate around 1917. We're not exactly sure, but that's what date we picked.
Now, I was pretty young then, so I don't remember.
I wanted to make sure I've got this kind of started more as an orphanage.
That was her original intent, or a house for unwed mothers. She was in that trying to figure out what she was going to do, and my great uncle got sick, and they took care of him, and then somebody else came and said, "Hey, I need help," and they took him in and just kept growing until she realized, I'm not going to have an orphanage, or a house for unwed mothers. I'm going to take care of people.
How long did she live and was in service at the? That may be a question you don't know.
I think she passed away in the late 50s.
While the building we're in now was being built.
Yeah, she didn't get to see it finished, but that was the next generation. Every generation seems like has done a little more. My grandmother's generation built the building and then added on immediately, like within a year, they built another wing. And then my parents' generation built on another wing and a new kitchen in the 90s. And our generation bought a new building.
Fantastic. Okay, you want to tell us how it's operating? Who's operating where?
Okay. Dana and I have moved to the New Beginnings. We finally left home. I tell people I've been at Beatles Original. From the hospital, I went to my grandmother's, and then from my grandmother's, I went to the nursing home, and then I went home. So I tell people it feels like I've just left home. You grow up in a place, and you know where everything is. You know how the fire alarm works, and you know where they store stuff unless somebody moves it and doesn't tell you. Then we go to this new building. I don't know anything. So it's a real learning curve. I know how to take care of people. I just don't. The building is a mystery, and we're still learning. It was really fancy in its day, and there's a lot of intricate stuff, and we're still figuring it out.
Well, I'd like for you to like taking care of people better than the plug-ins. So you have managers at Beatles and the one at New Beginnings. You're each managed by different people, and are you full capacity both places?
No, we have plenty of room. It's a lot of it is based on our staffing, and we intentionally overstaff so we can take care of people. But just depends on the day. And then at New Beginnings, we're still working on upgrading the heating and air. We're waiting on our final bid on that to get started. And so we're occupying half the building. And then once we get that, we'll move everybody to the other half. And then we will start increasing our census there. And then we'll see how everything is as far as staffing and census. And we might be operating 2 buildings in the future, or we might be doing 1. We're leaving that up to God. And we've grown from 80 or 90 employees to 160 in a little over a year. Well, now almost 2 years. It's been crazy.
Well, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask is, are you going to operate under 1 building, or are you going to go to 2? And the answer is, we're not sure.
That's correct.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the programs. I'm telling you, when I'm out at Beatles visiting, there's something going on all the time. I mean, they were making candy yesterday, I think, and if anybody says it's quiet in a nursing home, no. You kind of have to pick and choose what you go to, I think.
Yes.
Dana, where do you fit in this?
Okay. Well, I came to Alva to Northwestern with a friend. I rode with her. She was going to change a class back in the 80s, and that was before the internet and before, you could just change a class. So I drove out here with her, and I was walking around in the registrar's office in that building, and I saw there was a nursing brochure there, and I had already enrolled at OSU because I was shy. I was a little country kid, and I was only 17 when I graduated, so I just was going to follow my friend and kind of see what college was about because I didn't really know. But I knew I wanted to be a nurse, and so I saw that brochure, and I was like, oh, wow, they have a nursing program here. And I knew deep in me, something said, you need to unenroll at OSU and come out here. Well, this was already August. I'm already at OSU. I am not a person that's brave, really, back then. And so I just nothing would let me go of it. So I unenrolled at OSU, enrolled out here, and that day there wasn't anybody in the nursing department to talk to, so the lady in the office enrolled me, and she enrolled me in 19 hours, and it was like chemical principles with Dr. Brown. Like I needed general chemistry. It was like things that was hard, but I didn't know. So I made it through that semester, met some really cool people, and one of them introduced me to Adam. And the first thing he said was, oh, you're wanting to be a nurse. My family owns a nursing home. And I'm like, okay, stay away from that, dude. I am not gonna work in a nursing home. No way. 100% no. So, but as, never say never. So he was just such a kind, funny guy that just kept. I worked at Walmart as a checker, and this guy would come through my line, and he would buy like gum or Carmex or something little. Well, I didn't know, he was coming to see me. And so finally, over time, he asked me out, and we started seeing each other. And I did not want to go to the nursing home. I didn't want to go visit. I didn't want to see anything about it. So he said one day, come with me. I'm going to take some candy to a resident. Her name was Bertha, and again, this was back in the 80s. And he said, just come with me, and we're going to take her some candy and say hi. I visit her when I'm home. He was already at Southwestern in pharmacy school when we met. And so I went in. I walked in, and I was like, wow, this place is clean. It smells good. And that was new for me of nursing homes. And so then the people were happy. They were doing stuff. It wasn't quiet, just like you said. And I met Bertha, and my joy always, I was born way late in my parents' life, so I'm very comfortable with older people. I've never really been comfortable with people my age. So I was like in a pig in mud with the people there. I was just scared of the nursing home.
Who's Bertha?
Bertha Rush. Yep. She
No,
She was
actually my great uncle's mom.
Your
Married
what?
into my great uncle's mom. He married into one of my grandparents' sisters. I
Got
can't
it.
remember all that detail. That was when I was little, but she was a really nice lady.
she was ornery and full of vinegar, and I loved it. And so he was at Southwestern during the week and come home, not every weekend, but sometimes. And so I fell in love with her, and I started going and visiting her. And then one day I applied secretly. I didn't want to tell him. I wanted to surprise him. And his Aunt Charlotte was the director of nurses, and she was in her office. I was scared to death of her. But I went in and applied, and I started on the night shift as an aide. And back then, the training wasn't formalized. It wasn't at a school like we have the awesome Northwest Tech here to work with. We watched these weird, big, huge discs that you slid into this machine. It would be like a VHS tape before VHS, like I don't know what it was, but they were black and white and they were on this screen. And I would sit in the lobby while I'm working, taking care of people, learning how to take care of people. And we folded we ironed the pillowcases back then. We peeled the potatoes at night. We made the cookies at night. It was just fun. Aunt Gussie wanted those pillowcases starched. She was Adam's grandma's sister. And so we did that for years. And now, looking back, I just giggle at the the things nursing could do that we can't even go in the kitchen now, of course, with infection control. But back then, no one knew what that was. So it's funny, as the regulations have changed, and we still fight for that home-based. They really pressure us for institutional, more corporate, more all that, but we fight it. And we still try to make everything homemade, but we do not starch the pillowcases. Can't do that anymore.
We are getting a history lesson on the establishment here in Alva from Dana and Adam Jordan. It's time for us to pay a few bills now. You're listening to the Rose and Ben Radio Rodeo Roundup, which has absolutely nothing to do with any of that except Rose is here and Ben is here. The rest of it we just kind of make up. We're going to pause for just a minute, and then I'm going to come back and tell you, before we go back to the Jordans, I'm going to tell you about a promotion this Saturday called Paws and Claws Christmas Photos. We'll be back.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
It's Rose and Ben on the radio every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. It's the most mature and latest morning show in the free world. 168 years of combined wisdom. Well, not always wisdom, but sometimes. And we share with you every Thursday morning people in our community and events that are going on. Here's an event. It's actually our event. This Saturday, Paws and Claws Christmas Photos. Claus is Santa Claus. You get it? Paws would be dogs, but we'll take pets. If you got a 50-pound boa, if you keep your boa constrictor on a leash, I'd come on up and get a Christmas picture. The sponsor with us Salt Fork Designs, located right across the street from McClure's agency. Beautiful building there at 140 Oklahoma Boulevard in Alva. Now, at about 11-ish, I'll be down at Holders because it's that time of the year for our Christmas cash giveaway. $200 Christmas cash and a $50 gift certificate from Holders. We'll be down there to take that on, and then we'll move up to Salt Fork Designs. We start pictures with Santa at 1 o'clock, and our list is full. We'll go till 4 o'clock, and we have a whole list. And so if you want to give Laura a call to become on a waiting list, like maybe somebody isn't able to show up that day, and we could get you in. If you want to be on a waiting list, Laura's number is 5807-481216.
Is that where you have to have a dog?
Well, you could borrow somebody else's dog, I guess.
Yeah, okay, but
Or just go find you a dog, but we don't want your dog to take on Santa in an aggressive way. I mean,
are you bringing your dogs?
I have 3, as you know,
Yes.
and I'm okay. I'm okay with organized chaos, but there's nothing organized about those 3. It's no, I'm not.
Which one's in charge? Which breeds?
I've got a corgi that herds 2 French bulldogs.
She's over the corgi is the
Corgis
top
are
dog?
tremendous herders. They were actually bred as hunting dogs in their native land. They're bred short so they could go into the bramble bushes and not get stickers. They are extremely fast, but they're also a herding breed.
Uh-huh.
They'll herd about anything you put in front of them.
Well,
They'll herd people if you allow them to.
that sounds like a fun day coming up.
It's wonderful.
Is this is a new something new, or have they done this before? I don't.
Them being us, it's a KALB
Yeah.
promotion.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it several times, but never in Alba. The only really disaster that I've ever had is puppies get excited, and when they get excited, they
Yes. Yes.
and so Santa has to be in a very tolerant mood that day because he'll probably have some puppy potty on him
Well-
before the day's over.
If you haven't seen that, you don't need to be there because that's the way it goes.
I'm thinking in a farm community that's really not going to.
And no problem.
There's not a Santa in the world that would go ew. So 2 promotions and Adam, let me come back to you. Sometimes when I need to talk to Adam, I don't go to Beatles. I go to Holders. And so I'm quizzing you one day about what you're doing at Holders, and you said, well, did you say this is my hobby?
No, I said this is my job that supports my hobby.
That's what it was, right. So you're a drug dealer, right?
That's how my kids introduced me at school. It's a drug dealer.
Oh, that's so bad.
I do have a question for you.
You do?
Talking about all your promotions through the years, did you ever have a turkey drop?
You know, at KEBC, Keep Everybody Country, before WKRP in Cincinnati did that show, before that, we did a turkey drop off the roof of Walls Bargain Center it was either in Del City or Midwest City, off the roof of it.
Were they live turkeys?
They were live turkeys, and that's where we learned that turkeys don't really fly. They just become ballistic missiles. I mean, we would toss a bird off the top of that thing, and it was like bowling with turkeys.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I am not pulling your leg. I am not pulling your leg. After about 10 turkeys and we wiped out, I don't know. That was back in the days, Adam, when if you did a promotion and you cooked 300 hot dogs, you'd serve 300 hot dogs. People would come out and talk with the disc jockey. We played the music live at the place. So it's me and Lynn Wagner and Dave Martin. we're on top of Walls Bargain Center. We've got the turkeys in a cage behind the sign. So the sign's about 3 feet high. So we reach behind the sign, we'll get a turkey and we'll toss it. We tossed about 6 or 8 of them off, and we wiped out about 30 or 40 people. And one of the guys said, "You think we ought to stop doing this?" I said, "I've never had so much fun in my life." No, we're not stopping until we run out of turkeys. It was colossal. We also did turkey bowling with Homeland at several Homeland stores. Frozen turkeys, get about an 8-pounder and get one that's kind of round, and bowl in front of the meat counter for prizes. Sophistication was really not our strong suit. Just, you think we could do, well, why not? Let's do that. And that's one of the wonderful things about this show, Adam, is this is a show that brings culture in. Here we have Rosie, 91 years of experience. So at the end of every show, Rosie gives her tip to live by. So you get something by just listening to us. It's amazing. It's amazing. Back to you, Rosie. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, we might have had somebody join us that wasn't. So we're talking with Adam and Dana Jordan with
Beatles and New Beginnings.
Beatles. Now, is New Beginnings Beatles New Beginnings, or is it just New Beginnings?
It depends on if you're being short or not. It is Beatles New Beginnings is our name.
Let me make a quick comment about that. I've been out there several times over the years. I was surprised that that structure looks so new and so nice and so crisp and so clean, but it's been there quite a while. I mean, it certainly doesn't. It's not in the 100-year category, but it's been there a while. It's a beautiful building.
Yes, it has. I believe construction started in the late 50s, maybe 58, finished around 60 or 61, and then they did the east wing and the administration part, the middle where the dining room and our offices are, and then 2 years later they added the west end. So it was like both facilities were built around the same time.
I see.
And they both added on right after they were built, which is...
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I didn't know there was 2 building projects at when Cher was built. I didn't realize that. So,
wow. Okay. So you purchased the Cher facility when?
January 1st.
Have there been any surprises?
Oh, there's been tons of surprises.
Any that you went, oh, whoa, I didn't, ooh, what, whoa, any of those?
Of course, there's always those, aren't there?
Right.
There's always those.
Well, pick one that you're not terribly embarrassed about and tell us about it.
Oh, well, there's an open pasture across the street.
Yes, to the south.
To the south, and they grow all sorts of stuff over there. We've had some visitors this year. Dana has caught 3 snakes. I haven't seen one. She keeps telling me that.
3 skunks, did you say?
Oh, and then there was snakes.
Oh, snakes. Oh, yeah, snakes.
There was one on the front porch that I did see, and it was quite big. Nothing venomous. And then there's been some small ones that have snuck in the building. And Dana's had the pleasure of escorting them out back to the pasture.
Do you rehome them back to their pasture? Is that what you do?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And there's also been a few mice that come in.
Oh, I would think.
We had one in my office yesterday that we didn't know. Kind of surprised us all multiple times. So we're in the process of eradicating that. Anyway.
But say rehome. Well, okay. maybe not.
No, not this. Not that.
No. I share your anguish. The farmhouse at my farm is 2 of those 900 square foot houses that they were building in the teens. So in 1913 or 1918, I can't read, they've scratched with a knife or something the date. So I don't know if it was 1913 or 1918. They took 2 of those 900 square foot houses and moved them together. One of them doesn't even have a foundation. It just sits on the ground. So I share your anguish of it's amazing the stuff that tries to get the creatures that try to get warm in the winter around the only thing warm, which is the house. And there is a bunch of them, and you can eradicate all you want, but it's like a sports season. It's going to start again. And I hadn't thought about that, but you're really surrounded by open terrain.
We are. In the back, there's a big canyon off that has the pond in it, and then of course the open field across the street. So
Right. So,
I have some questions.
oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Oh,
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rose. It's the Rose and Ben show. Take off, Rose.
all right. There, when you go in to the nursing homes, there's so much going on. I mean, you just don't sit in a room and vegetate. If you aren't out moving, it's because I don't know why. Because you're obstinate and won't go, I guess. Which one of you will tell us what are all of the activities that are available? And by the way, when you guys throw a party, you throw a party. I mean, you must have the biggest cafeteria in the world. The food is phenomenal. When you always have food for anybody and everybody. Do you ever run out of food?
Sometimes we run out of meatloaf and I get really sad. Sometimes we get busy and forget to go order, and then it's gone. But we are so lucky, blessed. We try to make things homemade, and the also awesome thing is we have longevity of staff. So they know what the residents like. They brainstorm about things, even like gluten-free, dairy-free, if people have dietary restrictions. We recently had an admission that was gluten-free, and we hadn't had that in a couple years. And the staff immediately started going on the internet, and they made bread homemade. They're just doing all sorts of things it's like a challenge, and they love it.
Well, the food is outstanding, and you have a big pig feed too, don't you? Yeah. Tell us about that.
About 30. This was the 30s.
It was when I was in high school, so it was.
How many?
Yeah. So it was like starting around 81 or 82. So, and I know there was a couple years that we didn't have it. One year, I think, when my father passed away, we didn't do it, and then a couple years during COVID, we couldn't. We did it for everybody in house, but we didn't invite anybody in.
Adam's dad.
Okay, you cook the whole hog, don't you? How put him outside over a fire?
Adam's dad, before we were married in the 80s, and I worked night shift, he would take a recliner from the lobby and set it outside, and he had a big cooker, and he would.
He took the recliner with him?
Yep, and he would lean back, and he would add coals, and he kept it at the right temp, and he cooked it. It was a big, huge tradition every year. And then after he passed, Adam did that a couple times with the boys. It was really cool. And then now, Greg Kechter and Jerry Smith at the Moose, and we've gone from it's hard to get the big ones anymore whole. That's big enough for everybody. So now we've gone to getting 2, 3, or 4. We did 4. And they have this giant cooker, and they do that. They cook it right outside the building, and you can smell it, and it gets everybody all excited, and it's fun.
So on the serving table is the whole pig, the head and all.
Mm-hmm. And it's a tradition for us to put the apple in the mouth, and it's really fun. This year we had it at both buildings. We had the program Blake, our son, has embraced all the activities. You'd ask, I'm sorry, I forgot to answer all the things we do, but we try to have something for everybody, like crafts or music or food, or the sky's the limit. And with the internet now, you get to see things that other places do, and it's fun. Just like putting on a shower cap putting shaving cream on your head and throwing Cheetos at each other. I mean, stuff like that. It's really fun. So we tell our staff, you're like the cruise director of the ship. Whatever you can think of to do, we'll do it. If you want to go to the casino and take a bus, fine. If you want to do something here, we'll do it. And we love all their ideas.
So, Rosie, speaking of good ideas,
Yes.
we've got to have a couple of bills paid because you're such a high maintenance unit.
Okay.
We will be back with Rose and Ben
All
and
right.
the Jordans, who are telling us about the 2 nursing homes here in town and a bunch of stuff that I didn't know. We've learned some stuff
Yes,
today,
we have.
Rosie.
There's
we'll
a
be
lot to
back
tell.
right after this timeout.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV. Let's talk about your future. Are you looking for a career change or possibly training in computers, health careers, automotive, cosmetology, digital design, electrical trades, welding, or biomedical sciences? At Northwest Technology Center, we offer these programs for adults, high school, and homeschool students from Aline Clio, Alva, Canton, Cherokee, Fairview, Freedom, Ringwood, and Winoka. Call to enroll today at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life. This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
It's Rosie and Ben on the Rodeo Radio Roundup. It doesn't have anything to do with rodeo. It's kind of sort of captured by radio. And we don't use the camera on this show because Rosie doesn't want us to. That was pretty much your vote, right?
I just said we have to put on clothes, and you said, well, yes.
I love those jammy bottoms, by the way. Those are just darling.
Really?
Those
Bright
little,
ones
those
aren't-
little reindeer are the cutest little things. Do you ride your bike with your jammy bottoms on?
Sort of.
Sort of. They're sort of on. Yeah. I got it. Okay. So hey, we're talking with Adam Jordan and Dana operating the nursing homes here in town, and you were talking off microphone, and it gave me a question, and that is you made a comment about your insurance carrier telling some promotion you were doing was not within their boundaries. Here's what it reminded me of. When we all started this stuff back in the day, radio was to serve its community. You could only own 3 things. You could own an AM, an FM, and a newspaper, or you could own some other. Let's see. You could, when TV came in, you could own 3 of a radio, a newspaper, and a TV. And then in the Clinton years, they just threw all that out. So like Clear Channel, who I worked for 3 different times in the corporate setting, at one time had 1,200 radio stations. They bought and sold radio stations without ever going into the community. KALV is a community radio station. It was designed to serve Woods County, which is, it goes a little further than that, but it was designed to serve Alva, Winoka, and Freedom. It also serves Fairview, Cherokee, Kiowa, but it's not required to do that. So the FCC was created, and the F is federal, and that's where problems started, and they have become multitudinous. Every year, a new manual will come out, which should be a 1/2 inch thick. It's now about 8 inches thick of stuff that we have to do, and the starting fine, if you're doing some picky little thing, like you've got a light out on your antenna, that's $500. But many fines start at $2,500, and it's not uncommon for a radio station like this to be fined $5,000, just because $5,000 isn't all that much to the federal government. I would bet that in your business, the same thing has happened. I bet you are covered up with federal, and I suppose state, absolute, you must do that or we will have your head. Am I right, or am I just talking here?
Oh, you're immensely correct. Our association has told us that we have more regulations than nuclear power, more than anybody else in the nation. And
You have more regulations than the nuclear power people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I would believe that.
And the fines start at 10,000, and it could be per resident and could be per day.
So you could come out with multitudinous fines in one deal, right?
One little deal. Yes.
Wow.
We
Tell us about the hayrack ride.
I actually didn't get to go on the hayrack ride. We were out of town, but it was really fun. And they started at our original building and went to the new building and added residents along the way, and then had a campfire.
You pulled it with a tractor.
Yes, one of the local farmers loaned us a tractor, and it was a great time. They did that. They had plans for the kids. I don't know if the kids got on because of the timing, and it was school night, but it was a great time. And they wound up with the campfire and cooked hot dogs and made s'mores. Yes,
We were doing a hayrack ride in a haunted forest kind of a
cool.
setting, and our insurance company got a hold of us and said, "You can do it." I don't know how they found out that we were going to do it, but they got to us before we did it, and they said, "You can do it, but you need to put 3-foot sides on your trailer," which really knocks the stuffing out of a hayrack ride, I promise you. But so
yes.
it's never easy.
We posted pictures on our Facebook page, and of course, our insurance broker watches our Facebook, and he called and said, "This is a liability nightmare. If you do it, is somebody getting on, getting off, something happens in between." Of course, we didn't know it, but the person that loaned us the tractor is liable first. But if they don't have insurance, which that's very possible, then it goes to us. And he just said, you need to be really careful, and probably not a good idea to do that.
And being careful on a hayrack ride is not; those things don't go together. I mean,
No.
it's supposed to be a funsy thing.
No, we had a church hayrack ride for the teens, and one of the teenage boys decided to jump off, broke his hand. So there you go.
There you go.
Before we run out of time.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I just said that to see if you would stop. Go ahead.
See, you got me trained.
I got you.
I want you guys, one of you, both of you, to tell us all of the good things about, I know a lot of them, but I want you to tell us the things that you're very pleased and proud of and that are good about Beatles.
Okay, hold that thought because we have a break. We'll come back after the break. This is Rose and Ben on the radio. So glad that you could join us this morning. Now, watch the expertise on this deal. This is Cade Kennedy, our producer-director, who is better known as the Associate SID at NWOSU. He will, with one hand, play a commercial. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Rose and Ben on KALV.
Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center is proud to offer comprehensive care solutions for those who matter most. From rehabilitation and palliative care to skilled nursing and long-term care, Beatles is committed to providing comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Now, with a second location, the Beatles family continues its long-standing tradition of excellence, serving the people of Northwest Oklahoma with the same compassion and dedication they've been known for. Come by and see them at 720 North Share Boulevard in Alva. Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center, your care, your comfort, your community.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
It is Rose and Ben on the radio. And Rose, I was setting you up to ask a question. You asked it, and then we went
Yes.
to a commercial. So coming back to you.
Okay, yes. Before we run out of time, I want you boys and girls to tell the good things that you feel that you have going. I know what they are, but let everybody else know.
The biggest thing is
Do that.
the new building has allowed us to dream and do more stuff. But the biggest thing that also, besides the residents and the activities and the love and all, is our staff. We are so blessed. We are not using agency for staffing. We're not using any, there are employees that we have sat down with, looked in the eye, talked to them, chosen them, they chose us. And part of our mission, we say that we're here to take care of everybody under our roof, and that's our employees, their families, our residents' families, our vendors, everybody. And part of the mission I have is helping our staff. A lot of times they come to us with some hardships, and it's just a whole lot of second chances for people, and investing in those people and seeing them grow, and then seeing them go to school, or they come to us and school is their complete goal, and we help them. I'll always say, do not drop a class and don't stop going until you come talk to me, because I'm going to talk you out of quitting. So we really, the joy is the residents and families, but there's as equally much our staff. We could not do this without them. They put the decorations, they make the food, they make the activities, they come up with ideas, and they're amazing. And I love my staff.
You can sort of see it when you're out there. They're all delightfully attentive. Okay, is there anything else? Jordan, do you have any?
There's always something
Adam,
else.
not
Always.
Jordan.
I just have to agree with what Dana says. It's just our staff is what makes it. Of course, our leadership, we try to support and develop and guide them and show the example of love. But there's also discipline but it's just the environment that people come into. It feels warm and loving. That's the most important thing, I think.
So you really are connected with a couple of enthusiastic-oriented cultures. The culture that you have established and your family has established, and then the culture you work in at Holders.
Correct.
That's an activity-based, fun kind of a. I mean, you almost find yourself going into Holders, going, "Are these people really working? They're having way too much fun, way too much fun."
We do, and it's all about when you have interactions. I tell people this. I am so blessed. I've worked there since '91, so almost 35 years, 34 years.
At Holders?
At Holders.
Really?
Yes. And it is a blessing to work there that long, because I've taken care of generations of families now. I used to envy it when I started there. I was working with a 60 and a 70-year-old, and before they passed, they were in their 90s, and they were still working. And
You were a part of Holder Southern then, weren't you?
No, I went.
No?
That was before me.
Really?
Yes. So, but just watching the generations, I've counted some generations. There's been 4 that I've taken care of, and it's a blessing.
Now, the pharmaceutical side of any store is another example of being so bogged down in federal red tape. How much has it changed in your 30-something years?
It's changed tremendously, but those guys I was talking about, Jim and Bob, they started with a manual typewriter, and they were so excited when they got correction tape. And then for them to go that to computers and to be able to run and operate a computer, that's changed a lot. In my time, I actually did work in one store that had a manual electric typewriter, not a manual, and we had to price everything by hand. It was hard, but the medicine is what has changed so much in that time. We've gone from insulin that was from animals to human-derived insulin, and it's really cool. And then all these newer things, and it's fascinating and mind-blowing what it's come. Still searching for the drug that doesn't have any side effects. It's not there yet.
There's no drug that doesn't have side effects.
No.
Isn't that incredible?
It is.
It's
coming, I'm sure.
It's what?
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming, but it's going to probably not be in my lifetime.
It'll have to hurry.
Yeah.
No doubt. Wait a minute. I didn't say that right. What I meant was...
I am 60, so you know.
So if you have just joined us, we appreciate you, but you're just going to get the last minute because this is the time that we've been waiting for. Now, it's been wonderful with Dana and Adam Jordan talking about what's near and dear to their hearts, and thank you too for doing that. Now's the big payoff. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rose and Ben Show proudly presents Rosie's Tip to Live By.
All right. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. How about that? That's pretty good.
Life has no limitations except the ones
You make. Yeah.
So go out and seize the day. Right, Rosie?
That's right.
Rosie, if you see a lady who appears to be somewhere around 60, she's actually 91 in her pajama bottoms on her bicycle. We'll be back on the other side of the news here with a surprise guest. You'll want to stay with us. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Rose and Ben on the radio extended version today because we have a special guest. All of our guests are special. Wasn't that fun, Rosie?
It was.
With Adam and Dana.
It was.
They are such down home, very skilled people, but very down home.
We are blessed to have them in our community.
We are. We are. So it's the Rose and Ben Radio Rodeo Roundup. 186 years of combined fall down 7 times, get up 8, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Mainly it's victory for us.
You may need to change that to a long time.
A long time. Yeah. Okay, I'll work on that.
Okay.
I'll have to type it out, I think.
That's okay.
We're probably the only two that say things like type it out, probably.
Yes.
So our guest is Bruce Ware, and he's not been in our community a long time. So I want to kind of start and get acquainted. Though he and I have had a couple of conversations that were really, really interesting to me. Bruce is the new owner, Rosie, of the Hopeton State Bank.
Okay.
One of my very favorites. Trent Goss is the president out there. Darla Jenny is the lady that I talk to when I have accounts to talk about. That's a kind way of saying when I'm close to being overdrawn.
I thought that's probably what you meant.
That's kind of where we were going on that. It's a great bank. Mary Margaret, close friend, owned that bank from its inception, and Bruce purchased it. Well, let's just start here.
Okay.
So
I want to get one thing
go
out
ahead,
in the
Rosie.
open.
It's your show.
Oh, that's right. Don't ever forget it.
I won't forget that.
Bruce, I want to make sure that I understand you have no affiliation now with the Dream Bank.
That's correct. I bought Hopeton, and before they were sister banks in that they both shared as a common owner. Mary Margaret, who I think very highly of and who was great to work with in the purchase of Hopeton State Bank. But they are not affiliated.
Okay. If I were looking for a new bank, tell me why I should come to Hopeton.
You should come to Hopeton because we're going to treat you right.
Okay, that's a good question.
And, there have been families that have been banking with us for decades. I mean, literally, it is just blowing me away how long some families have banked with us. And I would tell you that we have added a level of technology to the bank to where people can bank with us from anywhere, and that really appeals to the young people. People who, like me, I deposit my checks using my phone. Literally, you can just, snap, and it goes to the bank. So, I would tell you that we are, as I was thinking about the bank and what's really special about us, there are several things about us. We bank people who feed people. We bank a lot of folks in the cattle business. We bank a lot of farmers, and I really celebrate that. We're working on a customer coming to the bank that's in the healthcare business. So my new thing is that we also bank people who heal people. And I think we're a bank I grew up, we started with nothing. In fact, my first job was shredding paper at a community bank when I was 13.
Where was that, Bruce?
That was in Newton, Mississippi. I'm
not familiar with Newton. Give me a town that's close to it that I would know.
Well, it's going to be another small town, but that's Jackson, Mississippi. And Newton is 60
I know
miles.
Jackson, Mississippi. A guy that I worked with in Oklahoma City became the manager and then the owner of, I don't know if there's more than one radio station, but the radio station in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
And I visited him there. Don Hodges was his name. He's deceased now. He was in Jackson probably 30 years and absolutely loved that part of the country. He said, Ben, it moves a little slower. I said, how slow does it move? He said, well, I've been with you at the Winoka Rodeo, and Winoka would be very fast compared to Jackson. So, kind of a homey place, huh?
A lot of good people in Jackson and a lot of good people in Newton. I'm from Dallas. My family were Newtonians, and so.
Oh, so you're a Dallas guy.
I'm originally from Dallas, but my grandparents and my mom, they were from Newton, Mississippi, and so that's how, at the age of 13, we moved there.
I see. Now, I know this because you and I have talked and almost made a wager. Had we made a wager, I would now owe you money. Rosie, this man is an alum and a hardworking alum of Ole Miss.
Wow.
Now, you didn't go to school there, did you?
Oh, you would think I'm still in school there. My wife and I are there so often. I did go to school at Ole Miss, had a wonderful experience. Really, it's where I sort of came into my own, and that job that I got at the bank when I was 13 shredding paper was the job that led me to Ole Miss.
Is that right?
It came down between Ole Miss and SMU.
Really?
It sure did. And
Southern Methodist be right down the street from you in Dallas.
Well, remember, I'm now a kid in Mississippi as a high school student.
Okay.
And so I'm graduating from high school in Mississippi. I'm the first in my family to go to college. And, you know, as you should, you look at what things cost, and you can't make this stuff up. A family, this is a true story. A family in Mississippi had sold their bank. As part of the deal, they made the buyer establish a scholarship at Ole Miss for a student to study banking.
You got that scholarship?
I got that scholarship.
Is that right?
So it was sort of meant to be. And the ironic thing is, almost a year into it, I almost transferred to SMU. The president of Ole Miss left Ole Miss to be the president of SMU. He just retired last year.
Oh, really?
He sure did. And almost came close to transferring. I'm so glad I didn't. It worked out well.
So, Rosie, Bruce showed me this picture of him and his wife and a whole bunch of students, but I don't remember the conversation about it. It's something that you are involved in, but I don't remember the name of it.
Yes. In both my favorite professor's honor, who's still living, Dr. Vaughn Grisham, who I will get to see in a few days here, who's very dear to me, and my mom, she passed on her 60th birthday. And, typically in first-generation families, there's a hesitancy about kids going to college. It's almost like, well, who's going to stay behind, or how is this thing going to happen, or what about this responsibility or task? And so in my mom's honor and Dr. Grisham's honor, my wife and I started a program where we take mostly, we don't, it's not exclusive, but we will partner with school districts in Mississippi and take their best students to go spend a day and a half at Ole Miss on what I call the Manning Family Tour. I mean, it's the tour that if you are coming from a family that has long ties to the university, that you're probably going to get the back of the house tour. And we've seen a lot of success stories come out of doing that work. The way I think about it is, rural kids can sometimes not get exposed to going, to the idea of being on a college campus.
Right.
And that was my story. I visited Ole Miss, and it made all the difference in the world. I could imagine myself there. I actually met a professor there that I connected with. And I would wager to you that I wouldn't be here today had I not visited that college campus.
So you sponsor, rather.
That's right.
The kids that take the tour.
That's right.
Well, the picture I saw probably had 50 kids in it.
We charter the athletic bus to pick these kids up. We put them in nice fleeces and khaki pants, and they stay overnight. And it is, I mean, the word that we hear is transformative. It is absolutely transformative.
How many people go to school at Ole Miss?
We've probably got about 25,000 enrolled today. When I was a student, it's probably half that.
Right.
So, yes.
And it's Oxford, isn't it?
It's in Oxford, Mississippi.
And a beautiful, beautiful landscape.
Just incredible. We joke, if you don't want to go to Ole Miss, don't go visit Ole Miss.
Right, right.
In fact, one of the phenomenons is, as kids are all over the country have gotten attracted to a lot of SEC schools, including Ole Miss, their families are coming in tow. And so I used to tell students, if you don't want to go, don't go visit. But now we should probably start telling parents, if you don't want to go, don't go with your kid to go visit, because they end up moving there too.
Right, right. You mentioned the Mannings. I guess there's a Manning around Ole Miss, legend-wise. Is that right?
There are actually two legends around Ole Miss. In fact, we have the speed on campus is this ties to the score of both of the Manning, both Eli and his dad Archie.
Eli and Archie are alums, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, yeah. Great ambassadors.
As well as Cooper, whose son is quarterback at my other alma mater, University of Texas.
That's exactly right. I had forgotten. Your other alma mater?
Yes, sir.
What did you do to get alum status there?
So at Texas, well, I when I went to business school, I had this idea that business people are great civic people. And so I always wanted to do this joint program in business school where I would kind of get to study, how can business people be engaged civically? I didn't get to do that. And so later in life, as a working professional, this had nothing to do with trying to make more money. It was, how can I be a better civic person?
Right.
I did a master's program at the LBJ School at the University of Texas.
Ah. Okay.
And ironically, as part of that program, you had to do a capstone, sort of like a thesis. My thesis was focused on taking kids from rural communities like the one I grew up to visit college campuses.
Really? So Bruce, you're a guy from Dallas who has some New York experience also, and originally from the Deep South. How does that get you a bank in Hopeton, Oklahoma?
My question exactly.
The way that gets you a bank is, I've had the benefit of high finance, big deals, transactional work, but I've also had the benefit of seeing people take small businesses and to scale. And I got to tell you, the two most successful business people that I know personally, they started their businesses with loans that they got from small community banks. Community banks are the lifeblood of this country.
Yes.
And I believe that with every fiber in my being. And I thought, I think this is my highest and best use. Buy a small bank and try to figure out how we can help people grow their businesses, grow their farms, have better lifestyles, et cetera, et cetera.
So you're big on networking, obviously. So some of your pals would be in the banking business. For instance, the guy, I guess it's a single guy, I don't think it's a group, that owns Interbank.
That's correct, yes.
They would not agree with you because they want to have a million locations, right?
We think highly of Interbank, and I would wager to disagree. I think they would say, we appreciate what you're doing, Bruce.
Is that right?
The industry is very collegial, very. It's not a happy day when your competitor across the street is having an issue or a crisis. It's a collaborative, and it is competitive, but it is very collaborative.
It's like that's the way broadcasting is. I mean, there is we know. I promise you this: if a broadcaster in Oklahoma gets in trouble in some area, equipment, personnel, Well, I'll give you an example. My partners in Oklahoma City for years were the Tylers, and one of the stations they own is KOMA. KOMA was an absolute AM giant, 50,000 watt, went into 28 states at night because it was directional at night, 22 states in the daytime. In the May 3rd tornado, those antennas, that main antenna fell. And when I got there, there were engineers and owners and people of broadcasting experience from probably 15 different radio and TV stations trying to help the Tylers get their deal back going. And that's what you're saying about the banking business,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's people helping people.
I'll tell you, I had a bank CEO in a small town, not in Oklahoma, but he looked out of his window and his competitor across the street had run into problems. And he said when they ran into that problem, it was a sad day for us. Because while we compete, we do want each other to win. And it is necessary. You got it. People, you do need choice. People do need options.
Yes.
And so we don't gloat when our competitors are having difficult times.
And the banking business is not as free and easy as it used to be, I wouldn't think. I mean, you guys are regulated in every direction.
Very regulated.
So is it harder to make money in the banking business now than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
I would tell you that the regulatory burden is real. Now, I wasn't running a bank 10 years ago, but what I will tell you, the regulatory burden is real. And you've seen, if we go back to prior to the mortgage meltdown, we've seen banks exit businesses like doing home mortgages.
Yes.
A majority of home mortgages today are not originated at banks, which that is attributed to the regulatory regime. And so I think there was a lot of overcorrection there. We all, I think, in this room would agree it's beneficial for people to own their homes. In many cases, it's a way that they kind of start their path to wealth creation. So, but what I would tell you is we are working hard to be nimble and efficient and to do things in a smart way. And it's an industry that I'm really excited to be in.
Bruce, we want to thank you so much for coming by and visiting with us. If somebody is thinking about expanding their banking, their financial base, well, what would you say to them to invite them to check out Hopeton State Bank?
I would tell them to come see us.
Come see us.
Come see us.
And Trent Goss in this community, Bruce, and you would know this because you would have had to check him out pretty close, I would think, before buying that bank. He is a wonderful ambassador and very highly respected, which I'm sure you know.
We celebrate Trent. He when you're doing what I've done and you buy a small bank, you want someone that has the reputation, the work ethic, the character. I just can't say enough about Trent's character. His yes is yes, his no is no. He has been a terrific partner.
Well, you better alert Trent at 91. Will he give me a loan?
Oh, you bet he will.
You bet he will.
All right.
You bet he will. You just go on down there to see him.
I'll just do that.
Bruce, thanks for joining us. Welcome to Northwest Oklahoma. You have fit in well. I see you around, partaking of our restaurants and social areas. So thanks a million for coming to see us today. It is a pleasure to get to know you a little bit, and welcome.
Thank you so much.
Cade Kennedy, we're ready to get this thing back on what we laughingly call regular programming. In 1 week, it'll be Rosie and Benny on the radio once again. Join us there. For now, this baby is over.